let's start this off by saying I have been obsessed with this game ever since I bought it when the Steam sale was happening. I've been obsessed with it. I The only other game besides Amazing Cultivation Simulator that I've played in these like 2 weeks is Marvel Rivals, and I only played that because I wanted to see how what was it Daredevil is like, and I hate him. But we'll talk about that later. I fucking hate Daredevil. He sucks. But let's let this amazing man right here explain to you why I've been obsessed with this game, and I'm probably gonna be obsessed with this game for a while.
Hey people, Seth here. Are you easily
I mean,
entertained by
there's gonna be a lot of spoilers for me if he tells the story of the game, but I don't care about the story. Anyways, I got this recommendation off of Civilization Building Games that I looked up.
seeing numbers get higher? Would you like to play the equivalent of that, except all the buttons have been replaced with Chinese symbols? Do you have a burning interest in Chinese martial arts,
I
Taoism, or
do.
the pursuit of immortality? Then
Not the last one, but the other two, yeah. I dislike immortality in every way.
I invite you to see where my life has spiraled out of control for the past 2 months. Amazing
Me and you,
Cultivation
brother.
Simulator. Keep in mind, I only paid money for this after 50 hours. I've been playing this for so long that all my ads are in Chinese. Amazing Cultivation Simulator is a love
400
letter to
hours.
Chinese wushu novels. Essentially,
This is what got me to actually search up. Not got me to search it up, but it's why I even took interest in Amazing Cultivation Simulator. I've read so many of these, watched some of the recaps. Like, man, I don't know. It was like a few months ago, after I got into Lord of the Mysteries, I started digging into all of these other Chinese novels, and these ones just popped up the most.
Chinese sword fantasy. The word is like a sound because it's meant to sound like a sword swipe. In the novels,
Really?
cultivation is the cultivation of one's internal qi through practice, martial arts, meditation, whatever. And qi is the vital breath or essence of our living world. According to the same people who stick needles in your back, the end goal of cultivation is, of course, immortality. And that is what this whole game is about. Essentially, you're going to take a small group of Chinese rice farmers and turn them into demigods. To begin, I need to
Yep.
dispel any notion at all that this is Chinese RimWorld. I do this by comparing them directly. For example, we need a refrigerator.
What's RimWorld? Then I'll search
Going to
that
tell
up
you,
later.
we need a refrigerator. I'm going to drop the frozen soul of a demon and reduce the temperature to absolute zero.
I just use
The
ice
room is too
crystals.
cold. We need air conditioning. The room is too cold. Rebuild it out of wood and make the bed out of fire. Now, our disciple won't die of frostbite. He'll die of heat stroke. My colonist is crippled, disabled, and completely geriatric. So the cheapest option is to put him down. My disciple is an old, disabled nugget. We have regrown each of his limbs. Also, he's now a 14-year-old boy. We're under attack by bandits. We should get inside.
Oh, the injury system in this game. Like, two of my characters are suffering heart melting, and they just keep dying and knocking out. I have no idea how to heal it.
To safety. A man just decapitated my best
I'm
friend
feeling
from
right
over 10
now.
kilometers away with a flying fedora. Once you get past the obvious comparisons, you'll never mistake this game for anything
I
else.
kind
To
of want to play
begin, you'll need to
RimWorld
go
now.
through the tutorial. It's very quick and gives you
I
a bit
gotta
of
finish this
background to
game
the
first,
story.
though, before I get.
Unfortunately, the English voice acting is questionable. Luckily, this is a fantasy game, so the sound of women is optional. In contrast, the music is lovely and the visuals are gorgeous. Completing the tutorial unlocks the
They really
actual
are. I
game,
do
which
love
is
the music.
clearly and unambiguously labeled Classic, which, upon clicking, will show a huge list of sliders and settings to scare away the casual guilo. Don't touch anything, just hit confirm. Next, you're going to get trolled by the Chinese, because the developers think it's really funny that there's an almost certain guarantee that you just rolled a Yao Guai as one of your starting characters. Let me explain, white boy. In this
I will say I did know about the downsides of Yaguai when I started this game because, of course, I saw the
world,
review
you
on
can
YouTube.
cultivate as either a human
Not
or a
this
Yao
one, just
Guai,
a
which translates
list of cultivation, not civilization building games, like building roads and stuff. but I never heard of RimWorld.
Relates to monster, but really we're
I
referring
don't
to
know.
demons. Yaoguai, henceforth referred to as yogurts, are animals that have gained sentience and become humanoid. However, their existence is unnatural, and eventually they have to face tribulation from the heavens. It's sort of like God's punishment for being a furry. I wish I knew that before I lost my first waifu to a storm cloud. But because the random character selection randomizes a race, and 11 out of 12 of those races are different flavors of yogurt, you're
Yep.
very likely to land that. Until you know what you're doing, I don't recommend starting with dairy products. But if you want to speedrun the game, I recommend starting as the fastest animal on land. A turtle. You'll starve to death before you even reach the dinner table. Beyond this point,
You're
there's not much
starting that.
advice I can give. You're gonna suffer, and you're gonna learn from the experience. So
Oh, you're going to suffer with this game. Over 79 hours into this game, and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing half the time. But I'm stuck in the same spot 200 days into my save. One of my saves, I have two saves because I rage quit for like a couple of minutes and then just decided to start over. But in one of my saves, I'm just stuck because I have no idea what to do. I just keep I just keep trying to get more laws and
pick your starting pace
damn,
and get into the game. Everybody
you're
recommends
going to
True Sun
suffer.
Refining as your starting law because it's got very simple progression. And if you make a mistake, worst case scenario, you'll just die in horrific agony. If you follow the
I did
plot,
not
the
pick that.
entirety of a Taiyi sect has been annihilated. You and a handful of others are the only survivors. Why was it destroyed and by who? Whomst did this? Are questions you'll have to answer if you want to uncover the mystery of a Taiyi sect. But right now, your primary concern is survival. To help, a mysterious cultivator who was tight with your former sect leader drops by for the next 2 weeks. As long as he's alive, you're not gonna
Primordial
die. That
spirit.
is, unless you go to the bottom left of a map, in which case, you will both die. Let's get definitions going. You're running a sect, a school of cultivation. A sect has outer disciples that will happily do all of your mundane, tedious labor for a competitive salary of about $0. They're not slaves, as per se. We don't use that word here. It's more like an
Not
internship,
anymore.
which never ends. But through a
Never
high-intensity
gonna.
jujitsu program known as Foundation, they can become inner disciples. An inner disciple must choose one of the many supreme laws to follow, through which they cultivate a higher state of being. Their progress, abilities, and potential is largely determined by their character stats and background. Like RimWorld, everyone in this game generates with a random background, such as congenital defect, seashell collector, and effeminate male. The combination of stats will determine their
boy.
compatibility with a chosen law. You start with just one, but you'll unlock the rest as the game goes on. Also, they don't have to eat, but they still do. It's not uncommon to see a cultivator feasting on ramen, even if there's currently a famine, especially if we're currently having a famine. Also, pro tip, you start with a single forming pill. This can instantly finish your foundation and
Okay, I read novels and stuff, but I seem to be allergic to reading when it comes to games. So in my first actual save of this game, I didn't know what the forming pill was or anything. So I spent like 20 days trying to get my first cultivator. Oh boy. I spent my first 20 days trying to get a cultivator, and I just died because for some reason the mysterious cultivator left. And I died. Everybody from the sect was wiped out. I don't know if he's gonna say this or not, but inner disciples don't actually do work anymore. I wish I would have known that before I made my best crafter into an inner disciple. Man, that sucked. Like every weapon she made was a legendary weapon. Now I have to go back to using a wooden bow.
give you an inner disciple right at the start. After promotion, you can go to the sect tab and hit establish a sect, and most importantly, give it a cool name. Once that happens, you have officially incorporated. The rest of the game opens up. Inner disciples don't work. They cultivate and get stronger. After
Yeah,
all, this
won't
is
work.
Taoist Dragon Ball Z, but after incorporation, you can send them out to explore the world. There's two options, camp and adventure. Adventure sends them out on adventures. They leave and they come back. Camp sends them out to stay, and if you're so inclined, you can physically enter the map and plunder a village. At the start, your map's gonna look like this. Immediately, you're gonna notice something. 1, there's barely any locations because you haven't discovered them, and
Yep.
2, if you try to explore the red zones, you're gonna come home in a body bag, because that's not your territory. So whose is it? A great way to find out is to visit them directly.
God, I
Prank
hate
them
those
by
people.
sneaking inside their school. Once they catch you, they'll give you a proper introduction, break your knees, snap your spine, and gouge your eyes out. The other sects
Exactly.
aren't very sociable, but diplomacy is
Nope.
important, because if they felt so inclined, they could obliterate us. To even get an audience with them, you have to make an offering. Your offering doesn't matter. Each time they're gonna call you a broke-ass bitch anyway. That's why we wait for a cow to defecate, mark it as the trade area, and send our gift. Now you can trade. In a world of immortality, money is an abstract concept, so we're working on a purely barter-based economy. However, we still have a form of currency, and yes, it's completely edible. Spirit stones are the chocolate
Spirit
coins of this
stone.
world. You can trade them during break time for Pokemon cards, or
I never have enough spirit stones for anything. It's like, oh, I made 7,000 spirit stones. I turn around and they're all gone because I need to buy a pill that causes 5,000.
consume them directly to restore a small amount of diabetes. In
It
this case,
sucks.
they restore a small amount of chi, so they function as both a store of wealth and a means of exchange. Each sect offers something different for ridiculous amounts of money, and even if you have a stacks to pay for it, we're not selling. That would be like selling weapons to your enemy. And how do we know we can trust you? So you have to butter them up. This is mainly done by asking people across the world whether the leader of a sect prefers cats or dogs. And
Okay, that system I hate so much because what do I look like going somewhere and talking to every single person, reading all that dialogue just to find out what the leader likes? It's to the point where instead of just doing that, I just do them favors. I spend the spirit stones. I spend 5,000 spirit stones buying a pill for them so their disciple or master doesn't die. And I only get 550 favor for that. And I still have to buy the goddamn pass.
gifting him the appropriate kind of meat. Let's return to matters back at home. Feng Shui is a Chinese system of thought governing spatial arrangement and orientation in relation to the flow of
Oh,
qi. Have a
Feng
look.
Shui.
Here's some simple Chinese alchemy that I expect you to memorize by about 200 hours of play. Why do I have to learn this?
I haven't
Because
memorized
everything in
it.
this game is subject to Feng Shui. Everything has an element and they interact with one another. Water nourishes wood. Wood feeds fire. Fire cools to make the earth. Earth produces metal, and metal holds the water, allowing it to repeat the cycle. Okay, that's cool, Seth, but we don't have time for this. Wait, did my guy just die of heart palpitations? Why is the yin-yang symbol on this bedroom red? What the fuck does ominous mean? When in doubt, check the pentagram. Room of wood, bed of earth. Wood defeats earth, making the feng
Yep.
shui of a bedroom ominous. And if you sleep in that bedroom, you'll die of a heart attack. Replace the
What?
earth bed with a fire bed, and as wood feeds fire, the feng shui will become auspicious, which
I
means
just
good.
make out-
However, if you sleep in that bedroom, you'll die of heat stroke. That's because
What?
fire and water control the temperature. In a more relevant scenario, each of the supreme laws practiced by your cultivators has an element
I just make everything out of wood or spirit stones because spirit stones don't have an elemental alignment.
Feng Shui
So just
affects
do
the
that.
speed and success of their practice. So if you're a metal cultivator, you would avoid fire, as fire melts metal. However, if you told
Yep.
him to meditate in an empty room and fed him laxatives, the speed of his
Phone?
cultivation would increase with the volume of shit he produces, as feces
Oh,
is the
no.
element of earth, which promotes metal. If you're confused, I sympathize. There is no way you could possibly know that in Feng Shui, the orientation of a room's door is specific to its function. In other
Oh, okay. I did know that going in, right? Well, I didn't know that, but I learned that very quickly, and I very quickly forgot about it. So my kitchen just kept burning down because the feng shui of my room wasn't good. And because I have my kitchen next to my freezer, next to the houses, everything just keeps burning down. So I just have to make it out of spirit stones. My kitchen will forever be made from spirit stones because of this.
Words, bedrooms face south, workshops east, and kitchens west. That's why
I
everything in this
put
game has
kitchens
a
on
comment
top.
box, so you and your fellow Guilos can share ideas about what the hell is going on. Now, the main focus of this game is
Yep.
cultivation towards immortality, which can be summarized by the following post. You eat a pill, sit on your ass for several years, and once you're done, you go from rank 8 ping pong to rank 2 ching chong, which is still like 100 ranks below the heavenly golden dragon god emperor star ancestor. But it's okay since there are still about 3,000 chapters to go, and all the big dick characters that could kill you with a fart are currently busy. So you can go and wipe out a Ding Dong clan, which obsessively wants you dead because you courted death by destroying the King Kong clan after its young master picked a fight with you over your jade-like beauty childhood friend.
This is basically every cultivation manual out there. It's it's all the same patterns to the point where now I don't even read cultivation manuals anymore. I mean, I tried reading, I think the biggest one, Reverend Insanity. Yeah, I quit that one fast. It just got boring to me. But not like my Lord and Savior, Lord of the Mysteries. It's just a perfect novel. Lord of the Mysteries, just perfect.
Eventually, you're going to perform a bunch of opaque, esoteric, and poorly understood processes to help you reach a higher power level. There's 3 types of cultivation in this game, and I'm going to mispronounce all of them. Xiandao, Shendao, and Physical. Xiandao is most relevant because it makes up 90% of the game. Your process of cultivation is derived from Chinese internal alchemy, where instead of a cauldron, you use your body, and instead of reagents, you use your chi to form a golden core. Think of a philosopher's stone, except backwards.
I still haven't gotten a good golden core.
Instead of drinking the elixir of life, we are the elixir of life. Xiandao is unique since you can transcribe your knowledge to a manual. This means a single cultivator can study from every other law and become exponentially more powerful. This can lead to interesting situations where someone might learn skills they really weren't supposed to, such as a male cultivator learning lunar form from the sunflower refining law, and by doing so, reversing his sex. Becoming female in this game results in the loss of your penis.
That did happen to me once. I had the perfect character for that law, and just it happened. I came to click on the character to go get something. I'm like, huh? Why are you sick? Why does it say you're hurt? And his penis was on the floor. So I gifted it to a different sect.
Which can be picked up and sold on the open market. You can even make money off this by regrowing your penis, which will, upon realizing that you're not meant to have one, detach immediately. Each time you harvest a crop of penis, you become the dick farmer. But I digress. To reach a higher power level, you have to perform a breakthrough. This is essentially a bottleneck in your training, which you have to overcome or you can't progress. Golden Core, however, is different. It is the single most important breakthrough of your career.
My first golden core was the 9th rank, and I thought, oh, rank 9. Not bad. I could have gotten worse. I checked the character, and it said golden cores were from 9 to 1, so I got the worst one. Then I reloaded my save and tried to get a different one. I just couldn't. I just could not get a better golden core. The best golden core I've gotten is a rank 5. It's the best I've gotten. I haven't gotten anything above 5. I don't know how to. And I'm not trying to look up guides, but damn, you are gonna suffer if you're not looking up guides in this game.
Every condition has to be perfect. The season, the weather, the time of day, the mental state of a cultivator, the element of a room, the chi density, and the amount of chi flowing through the cultivator's meridians. Get all those right, and you just might get a better result than I did. I genuinely thought I did pretty good for my first time. Tier 9, I
Hey,
thought to
we
myself,
both got it.
that's a pretty high number. Tier 9 is the lowest tier of Golden Core. It is trash. Literally, swallow a rebirth pill and reincarnate yourself, my man. You fucked up. Early on, your golden cores are gonna suck, but with experience
Just
comes
reload the
knowledge,
save
and
that
once you learn
point.
how, you'll be making some fat cores on a regular. Then there's
I still don't
Shendao
know how.
cultivation. Instead of cultivating your chi, you take in the chi of others through worship. Belief is power, and the more people believe in you, the more powerful.
I have one person using this type of cultivation, and I still don't know how to get it higher. Like, I did finally click on those word boxes and checked it out. Apparently, you're supposed to prevent disasters. But before I ascended him to this cultivation, 4 disasters happened back to back. I sent other peoples to take care of it. So now I'm just waiting for a disaster. And I still don't know if that's the best way to do it.
Once you establish yourself as a divine being with a realm of heaven, you can be the petty god you've always wanted. As a rule, I only answer bad prayers. Drought, bandits, famine, refuse.
Prayers?
Don't waste my time. You wish that tomorrow your favorite brothel prostitute hasn't been taken? Granted. You want your boss to step in dog shit? Granted.
You
want
pray
the guy
to
who
God
stole from
about
you to be
that?
struck by lightning? My pleasure. You want those annoying neighbors next door to die in horrific agony? Me too. You want someone to celebrate your birthday with you this year? Granted. At some point, I learned to stop worrying and love Shandao. Also, they get the most ridiculous titles. Just imagine that every prayer addressed to you has to be prefaced with, Dear Primordial, True Venerated, Great Pardon, Supreme Virtue, Venerated Holy Emperor. That leaves us with physical cultivation. What is physical cultivation? It's an inner disciple that spent the last
I
50
still haven't
days
gotten that one
remolding
yet.
his phallus.
Well, I have it, I just don't have anything to do it.
Penis. He is now physically immune to depression. In all seriousness, you take a mortal and you turn him into a Super Saiyan. Every body part, limb, joint, bone, and organ of your body you can remold until you become Goku. And then you give him intense PTSD so he can channel those repressed memories to increase his attack power from 1 million to 7 million and one-shot the entire game. Also, since every yogurt comes from a different animal, they all have unique anatomy that's different to humans, which means for every species of demon you turn to physical cultivation, there's tissue, bones, and organs not found anywhere else. In other words, fuck your opposable thumbs. I got vertebrae fused to my
didn't know this
carapace.
game was
Sooner
that
or
deep.
later, your sect is going to be attacked by bandits, demons, or other cultivators, with the exception of physical.
My sect got attacked by 3 giant bears. And I had sent everybody out to go get a new law that spawned in the world. So if it wasn't for the fact that I save before sending anyone out, I always do that, my entire set would have been destroyed. Man, you gotta get that reputation out of control. Under control.
Shandao cultivators fight using artifacts. What is an artifact? Well, anything. A Kleenex tissue, a bowl of ramen, a bag of flour, a bucket of water, a pile of shit, severed male genitalia. As long as you enchant it, you can use it. Preferably, try to enchant an actual weapon. Although, you can't deny it's very demoralizing to see your fellow bandit get decapitated by blue fabric summer shirt. Combat is basically your guys sit around and watch as their artifacts cut everyone to pieces. It's pretty fun to watch, especially larger battles where the sky is nothing but swords.
I do not have that many cultivators yet.
Complete without embracing traditional Chinese medicine. That's right. Alchemy. Here's a good summary.
I cannot do alchemy well.
Change the weather. Lose 20 years of your natural lifespan, which may sound bad, until you visit the local Chinese pharmacy and pop a pill which adds 500, another which adds 280, and wash it all down with some mineral water which adds another 99. Now, the only thing you have to cure is perpetual baby face, which is a common symptom when you have a lifespan of 3,000. You want something done? Yeah, there's a pill for that. Obesity? No problem. Not obesity.
There is?
I gotcha. Would you like to?
Why would you need your character to be bigger, though?
A rebirth pill, and he'll reincarnate right back into a piece of pork on your dinner plate. The cycle of karma is a fickle mistress. Honestly, if alchemy made any more sense, I'd actually be upset. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to put myself in a coma for 3 days. About 30 days in, you're going to get a pet. A divine pet. This is different to normal pets, which you adopt into your sect by shooting them with hunting bows, which are somehow blunt and tipped with anesthetic. This may sound very stupid, but on the other hand, Gundo Musashi had bullets that put you to sleep, and that was a masterpiece. Anyway, he starts off as a baby.
Never heard of that.
With time. He's also a little shit, and you're gonna have to keep an eye on him before he destroys your sect. For example, my friend saw one of his cultivators doing a breakthrough, and he thought to himself, fuck, my man is literally shitting himself. This is one intense breakthrough. Turned out his dog was feeding laxatives to all of his inner disciples. It is is your
Damn.
responsibility to teach them right from wrong. Peasants slacking on the job? Yes. Attack outer disciples. Give them some cardio. Drug inner disciples with euphoria pills? Why not? Give them some opium. An injured stranger wants our help?
Jesus,
Yes.
this man's
Attack
a
unknown
psychopath.
mortals. Kill them. Whether you raise him to be a functional member of society or a four-legged sociopath is entirely up to you. You can even rename him to something a little more Chinese. If you include the Bamboo Forest DLC, which adds a
I
pair of
just bought
pandas,
that like
there's
2 days
5
ago.
pets in total. They're incredibly cute and generally amazing. At the beginning, your sect can only hold 12 members. This increases to 24, then 36 as your reputation increases.
So
Reputation
36 is
also
the math.
increases the power level of invading enemies. Don't let this number get out of control or you'll experience firsthand what it's like to lose a 50-hour game in 5 seconds, which is a good time to inform you that in this game, you can draw Chinese talismans with your mouse, the accuracy of which determines the blessing. You can even draw on a blank sheet of paper, and it's still gonna work. I know this because somebody
You
drew a
could do that?
swastika, and apparently they can now use the oven 12% faster. So please draw a bunch of invisibility scrolls and wear them when you go on adventures. Your sect will thank you each time they haven't been murdered in your absence. It's not easy to make stacks in this game, which is why we have to trick villagers into filling our ranks. We do this by making small talk, finding out that half of them love nothing more than to ravenously consume shit and invite them over. Because we're gonna need a lot of manpower for our Chinese sweatshop. As inner disciples
I actually need to
cultivate
know this.
immortality. Outer disciples cultivate huge plantations of cotton. We're gonna process that down to fabric, and we're gonna wait, because very soon a merchant is gonna show up. He operates on a sweatshop economy. He's gonna pay you garbage, so you better have a high volume of garbage to sell. Luckily, our emaciated peasants have worked hard this summer, and we just earned 10,000 spirits.
And how do you get that much though? Uh, my farms don't produce that much. At most, they produce like 300 cotton.
Stones. We're gonna celebrate by losing it instantaneously, because the merchant also sells an invitation to an exclusive event.
Oh
Ring the
yeah,
token,
the
and
auction.
we're off to the auction house. Have you ever gone to an
I
auction
have
where
not
you
actually
can't
bought
even
any.
see what's being sold, but instead are given a vague description? Hard. Lumpy. A man's hand shoots up. I'll take it for 10,000. Not to be outdone, I
What?
raise his offer. I'll take it for 12,000. Another joins in. 13. Another raises. 14. The rest fold because they're poor as fuck. Those who remain keep raising. Eventually, there's only 2 of us. One final raise. 56,000. I won the bid, but I don't have 56,000. But they
What?
don't know that. The auction ends. It's time to pay. I can't pay. I am under arrest, but I'm not, because I am a mannequin made of straw. I never went to the auction. I took a clone pill and sent my body double. And that is a good
What?
summary of the auction house
You
experience.
can do that?
It's not about what we bid on. It's about why we do it. We do it to flex on the poor. While keeping a low profile is important, you should expand when given the chance. You see, your sect is local, but we can export the culture, the lifestyle, and the religion to the rest of fantasy China. To do this, we establish agencies. Then we
Yep.
set a policy for each region and grow our influence. Depending on the policy, you get random events, which have to be solved using insanity. You get a bunch of buttons, which I assume is what a paranoid schizophrenic's dialogue options look like, and
This is insanity because okay, one of these things, right, has it so you're walking down a path, giving away stuff, and then a man is there, his house is down, he can't rebuild it, and I'm like, oh, you can't rebuild it. There is an option, give them wood, and I'm like, okay, give them wood. It didn't work. I'm like, okay, there was another option. His mouse is covering it, but right here, it's center disciples to do the task that needs to be done. And I'm like, oh, so my disciples will build him a new house. They didn't. I just lost followers for no reason.
press whichever one you think is appropriate to the situation. Options include talk, bribe, kill, seduce, or throw a rock at someone and stone them to death. Foreigner scamming the locals, murder him. Another sect is preaching about their faith, pay them 100 spirit stones to fuck off. Is it currently Ramadan in the Great Desert? Start handing out food. Believe me, the longer you do it, the more sense it makes, or the more warped and psychopathic your reasoning becomes. For example, you're building a wonder and
Maybe it'll make sense to me once
Some
I'm
people
done.
drop by to ask what you're doing. Wrong answer, debate feng shui. Correct answer, beat them with a club. If you solve stuff correctly, you get a bunch more followers.
Beat them
Followers
up.
can dig up natural resources, generate belief that converts into experience, completely skipping the grind of cultivation, and be sacrificed for the greater good. You see, we're gonna need a
We
lot
can
of anguish soul
sacrifice them?
gems, which are formed from a painful death in ominous feng shui. Luckily, with agencies, there's no shortage of fresh and willing mortals. With
Yeah.
reputation, you can build a sect gate. This is the front door, where hopeful mortals arrive to prostrate themselves, begging to be recruited. But instead, we're going to build a hell gate, which is the same gate, but in a room with ominous feng shui at a comfortably cool temperature of absolute zero. We're gonna recruit
Jesus.
mortals from every city. They will arrive, pray to Hellgate, and freeze to death in horrific agony. And the negative moral consequence of
Whoa.
such an action? Zero, because they have died through no fault of our own. This is a good time to introduce alignment. Your sect can be
Good
good
and
or
evil?
but preferably we want a balance. So we have
Nah. One of my saves, I'm going for Demon Lord right now. So I'm just doing all the evil thing ever. The other one, I'm trying to be the pinnacle of good. So I'll find out what happens both ways.
good relations with both the virtuous and the demonic. This game exemplifies the Chinese practice of moral relativity.
What are they doing there?
Man,
What
morals
are they,
don't matter.
protesters?
If I horrifically mutilate someone's dying body to extract the location of their friends and family, that's slightly evil. But as long as you give them a proper burial, that's a net neutral action. And we have done.
Wow. I don't bury them. I just put them in the blood river. I'm still not gonna bury them. Like, they have the nerve. I'm on common standing with your goddamn sect, and they sent people after me. I'm not burying you. I'm throwing you in the bloody river.
Nothing wrong. Or let's say a curious stranger comes by to ask what you're doing, and then
Banish
stands
him.
there waiting for an answer until he collapses from extreme thirst, at which point I feed him a laxative and watch him shit himself to death. Is it wrong to watch a dying man's ass fertilize my fields? No, not at all. But if I turn a bandit's dead, broken body into a flesh puppet to serve us economically until it rots away, that's considered evil. A bigger question,
I did that.
I guess, is if I get decapitated by a dragon while adventuring, fly back home without a head, and use Yang God possession to transfer my consciousness into the body of another man's wife, would that
You
make
can
me a
do
homosexual? Some questions have
Yes.
no clear answer. Have you ever frozen to death during
Yes,
winter
they would.
because the wall of your house stood up and walked away? Unfortunately, in this game, that's a freak.
Oh yes, illuminated objects. Some things just gain sentience, like One Piece, and they're talking swords. Or how the hell can a sword eat a devil fruit? How does a gun eat a devil fruit? But somehow they do. It's basically the same thing.
Occurrence. Without warning, anything on the map can gain sentience. Sentient objects can also randomly enter the map, as I've seen entire pagodas march in and flatten my base. What's the point of them? To grief you. But more seriously, you can turn them into a 14-year-old boy. What is the application of this? Well, you
How?
can take a shit, give it sentience, and turn it into a human, who you're going to call Big Chungus, because the guys on Discord data mined the Chinese code and found out that specific set of Latin characters ensures that the sentient spirit will generate with the highest stats possible. Then you're gonna make a literal piece of shit, become
Really?
a demigod, and ascend to heaven. And that's what cultivation is all about. By the way, everyone who ever goes to heaven, whether by death or ascension, gets a little epilogue section. So you
Oh,
can follow
that's where the
shenanigans of
epilogue is. The tutorial lady said something about that, but I couldn't find it. I'm half blind. Not really, I just miss things.
former disciples. Here's a sample of the literary gems you might encounter.
Reinc-
Ming Wu reincarnated as an ant, but got drowned to death by a mean child who peed on the ant nest. Then he reincarnated into a parrot, but because he learned a lot of profanities and was swearing all day, someone plucked out his feathers and he froze to death. And in his next life as a
Jesus.
human, he met a strange acting boy, and believing him to be an immortal in disguise that could teach him cultivation, he took him in as his own. However, as it Turned out the child was actually mentally retarded. Later on, you'll find out combat gets a little more complicated with the
This game is
introduction
funny.
of
I didn't know it
formations.
was this
To
funny.
understand what that is, go to another section.
I still don't know what formations are. This is gonna help me. Let's see.
And try stealing. The moment you do so, a gigantic bubble forms in the sky and tears you to pieces. This is called a formation. The leader of it is
I did not see that the last time. I stole from a sect. I just got killed.
called the pillar, and everyone around them an auxiliary. It follows the rules of Feng Shui, so different elements will feed each other as they flow back to the pillar. It might look very Oriental, but honestly, it's just Chinese Lego. What's the point of formations? To deal with a little cave that appears in our base after about 200 days. If you're not ready and you need to suppress it, give it a nice room.
I mean, like 230 days. I haven't. You're on 600 days and it's there. Okay, so it doesn't spawn in 200 days because I'm in 240 days and I haven't seen a hole.
This will buy you some time, but whatever you do, don't give it offerings. It's going to break out anyway, but your sacrifices will make it stronger. So we may as well piss it off. Welcome to the official casual filter. The first boss you're going to encounter is the Flood Dragon, and it has a chi of about 10 million. Good luck. Honestly, if
well,
you
I'm done.
Congrats. Now, swallow your pride, go read a bunch of guides, and install some mods.
I don't want to read anymore. I don't want to read the guides, but do I really have to? And what are all these mods?
Will improve your life greatly. I'll attach the ones I use below. There's nothing essential, but when you have to micromanage the mental state of about 18 different cultivators, it does get tiresome. Listen, I've been writing the script for close to a month. There's no way to include everything, and I want my life back. So here's a stream of consciousness before I give an arbitrary score and go live in the woods. Each sect has a wonder. Yours is no exception. Go to the ruins of a Taiyi sect and bring it back. The mini-universe is a game changer. It's an infinite pocket plane that sucks in material and spits it out. But could there be a deeper, more mysterious function? No, it's just storage. No longer will your peasants have to walk for nourishment, because the best soups of a Wuhan wet market are gonna fly right into their hands. After killing your first Flood Dragon, which will always, without fail, crash its body into one of my expensive cultivation rooms, the game removes all safety checks. You can now summon the Phoenix, which creates 10 days of extreme drought, during which time your base is going to burn to the ground because you forgot to move a single phoenix feather, which landed in a bedroom and turned the temperature to about twice the melting point of steel. After 10 days of drought, it doesn't stop. It's permanent. The only way to end it is with a rainstorm miracle, which will make your phoenix very upset. It's stronger than the Flood Dragon, by the way. Also, you can't kill a phoenix. Each time you do, it's just going to reincarnate. Maybe I should have mentioned that earlier. Again, good luck. Then there's the Torch Dragon, which is...
Wait, how do you kill it? How do you kill it? I think I might need to read a guide. Damn. I might need to find a guide and actually read it instead of just reading those bubbles.
And comes in a yin-yang variant respective to the time of day. Each variant is invincible to elements of the same polarity, and even worse, they make him stronger.
Okay. I just gotta say, the visuals of this game is amazing. They're just really good. I mean, I've played this game, but, like, look at this. This is like a game you would have on your phone, but
Phoenix. Each time you do, it's just going to reincarnate. Maybe
really pretty.
I should have mentioned that earlier. Again, good luck. Then there's the Torch Dragon.
But again, how do I kill the Phoenix?
And comes in a yin-yang variant respective to the time of day. Each variant is invincible to elements of the same polarity, and even worse, they...
It seems like what you gotta do here is just use either physical cultivators or the god cultivators.
Make him stronger. Also, he's
religion ones.
You should probably just ignore them. And if you survive all that, there's really one challenge left. Genociding every other sect and beating them into submission. Once that's done, you can truly say, I finished the game.
That's it. That is my whole goal on my second save. Get strong enough to kill every other sect. Like, okay, here's how I think of it, right? If you want to be immortal, if you want to rule heaven, do you really gotta share that kind of power with someone else? Like, you have, what is it, like 20, no, like 16 different sects all over here, all over here, all over there, all of them have immortals and stuff. No, there can only be God. One God and one heaven, so kill the others. And also, this fucking place, Sky Dome Palace, pissed me off. That's why I really want them dead. Like, I could not find what the sect leader's favorite thing was. I had to spend 5,000 goddamn spirit stones to buy a Pilferer mission. That alone is why I want this sect dead.
Now
I'm
we can
going
go
to
back
kill them
and
all.
play on the real difficulty. I do,
What?
however, have some major complaints. Remember the story, the plot? Weren't we
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to
what's the
investigate the
story?
mystery of a Taiyi sect and why it was destroyed? Yes, but the process of doing so is so terrible that I'm just gonna save you the pain and tell you instead. You see, every character
Okay.
that's not your own can be interacted with, and we uncover
This is what I mean. Every single character can be talked to. So I'm not going to spend all this time talking to all of them to find out what the sect leader's favorite thing is. This is the worst part of the game to me. That's why I just don't do it.
the plot through the talking minigame. Primarily, this is done by adventuring to another sect. You talk to people, you get favor. After a while, you don't get favor. You only get favor from juicy gossip. So, you have to talk to another character, learn something about them, go back to the first character, and tell them a secret about the second. But to get the secret from the second, I'll have to talk to 20 other people to have enough gossip and rumors
Juicy.
to trade for more gossip and rumors. It's
Nope.
an infinite web of high school bullshit.
Not
It's the
doing this.
experience of being a teenage girl. Because
This is the definition of insanity. Like, over and over and over. Not to mention, you have to go to different sects. It's different. I'm not doing this.
you can't get the information you need directly. You
But I did check out the mod page, and this right here, God Saver. One click favor. You just click that button, favor maxes out. And even with that, I'm still not doing it because who do I talk to who has the information?
have to go through the PMS chain of command to learn absolutely anything. Now, here's the big problem. You might see a little question mark on someone next to the mystery tab. These are the people you need to investigate to solve a mystery. Again, you have to ask an entire sorority if they think that person knows something. If you ask them face to face without circumstantial evidence, they'll act dumb and say nothing. And even if you know that they know, they still have to open up to give you that information, which is dependent on their personality. If they're naive, that's the best case scenario because you don't have to do anything. If they're greedy, you have to bribe them. If they're weak, you have to kill them. If they're tough, you have to gaslight their personal weakness. But if they're withdrawn, unfortunately, you are screwed because the only way to make a withdrawn person open up is to make your spirit dog act playful in front of them. This requires a fully grown spirit dog, which can take hundreds of days, and each time you do it, he loses intelligence from the retardation of this minigame.
He actually loses intelligence. Also, I have nothing to actually level up my spirit fox.
Takes 10 to 20 days to recover. About 20 hours in, my eyes bloodshot and attention slipping, I managed to solve the first two mysteries. You do this by finding clues, participants, and motives, and slapping them together. The more you find, the more complete and accurate your solution is. Then, I talked to the next 5 characters, and they were all withdrawn, and I quit the game. I have never seen a story mechanic that's more laborious, difficult, and poorly thought out.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It doesn't end there. It gets better. You can do all of that and still hard lock yourself from completing the game.
I'm laughing now, but I'm crying. I'm crying, okay? This is pain. This is pain. No, this is the worst system I've ever seen in any game. And that's saying something.
because you didn't pick the right option for a specific event on day 565, or you waited too long and someone essential to the plaza
What?
has died of old age. Still, I wasn't entirely sure about the story, so I had to bring in the expert, resident merchant, aficionado of Ben 10 porn, and mentioned on several no-fly listings
Did I
across
hear that
Thailand.
right?
Hello, my nigga. I become rap people because I eat.
What up, my nigga? I am black, I can say it. Well, I'm African. But hey, my skin color is the same.
Jap. His hard drive died
Darker
about
than
5
most, but
times
hey.
while explaining. But here's the gist of it. The Taiyi sect was attacked. By who? By everyone. Both the evil and virtuous sect leaders conspired together to wipe it out. But what could justify such a strange alliance? Because the old leader of the Taiyi sect is none other than the demon emperor Fu Pekong, who is currently inside your mini-universe. If you talk to him, you'll get your answers. You see, cultivation is difficult, but it's also strangely common to see someone go from mortal to demigod in just a few weeks. That's because this world isn't real. Overwhelmed by demons, the elders left the great vastness of the universe to this pocket universe, where cultivation is quick, but the creed of heaven is weakening, and once it fails, this universe will end. They took a shortcut to artificial power, and now they're trying their best to hold on. In the final act, a cutscene plays and Fu Pekong undoes the universe, throwing us back into the great vastness. Everyone is mortal again, but this time, we can do it for real. Finally, a title card drops, coming in 2023. Bug Snacks 2. And that's the story of amazing Cultivation Simulator. So you never have to go through that horrific experience.
Thank you, brother. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing all that. But it's 2025 and Amazing Cultivator 2 hasn't come out yet. But you best bet when it does come out, I will be on it.
In conclusion,
I will lose months of my life.
10 out of 10 euphoria pills. I hate it. It's like the opium wars, except in this case, the Chinese are winning. If you're interested, you
they're
can get
winning.
a copy on Steam. Also, it's coming to GOG on the 23rd of July. This is made possible thanks to Polish greed and my growing alliance with a CCP, because I like to bet on the winning team. And right now, that's Team China.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's like, what? 4 years after this and he's still right.
A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
But yeah, that's what's been keeping my attention for all these days, weeks. Like, I'm obsessed with this game. I need help. I need help from this game. I get mad at this game so much because I don't understand something, but then I don't want to read the guide, so I leave the game for like an hour. Then I come back because I'm like, I can't just stop. I have to keep going, Bruh. Anyways, that was Amazing Cultivator Simulator. It's a game I recommend if you're a masochist. It's a good game for masochists. Yep. But hey, I'm dropping this video soon too. Blade versus Buffy. And I got a bunch of other videos I want to react to. And I really want to make this I really want this YouTube thing to work. So I'm going to try and upload like a video every week. I can't do every day because I got stuff to do in the daytime.